So Cathie Wood's fund ARK Invest is purchasing millions and millions of dollars of Tesla stock. She's basically doing this for Tesla stock. Now, I don't think you guys understand how much money she's throwing into Tesla, so I want to show you guys something pretty interesting. So just on January 3rd alone, Cathie Wood spent over $18 million into Tesla shares between two of her funds. Now, keep in mind, guys, that's just one day. Cathie Woods has been doing this for a couple of weeks now. So if you're wondering, how is this impacting Tesla stock? Well, here's a photo of how Tesla stock reacted after she put millions of dollars just that one day. Now, I know there's a lot of mixed opinions for Cathie Woods. Some people hate her, some people love her, some people talk about how much money she has lost in the last year, and some people argue that Cathie Woods is looking into the future and she's not looking at short-term trades. However you look at it, we have to acknowledge the fact that Cathie Wood's fund ARK did way worse than Tesla stock, and that speaks volumes considering the fact that Tesla stock didn't have a good year itself. So for her fund to do worse than Tesla speaks a lot. And again, the reason I say this is because Tesla is just one position in Cathie Wood's fund. So you would think, okay, well, Cathie has other positions that maybe would offset the losses that Tesla had this year, but nope. If you take a look at her other trades like Coinbase, it was a disaster, horrendous, terrible, right? And then if you look at Cathie Wood's holdings for ARK Invest, you're gonna see that her biggest holding is Zoom, and again, Zoom was just terrible as well. But like many argue, Cathie Woods is someone that looks into the future, and speaking about future, I want to talk about something that she recently tweeted. So Cathie Woods shared that two of her research analysts state that even without the idea of robo-taxis for Tesla, that Tesla still has an enormous opportunity in the EV space. In fact, if you look at the tweet for Tasha, one of the research analysts for ARK Invest, she states that Tesla has the potential to 4x its price within a couple of years. In fact, she says by 2026 that Tesla stock could be worth potentially $500 or more without the idea of robo-taxis, which is just mind-blowing. Now, we know that Cathie Woods has been right in the past, but the million-dollar question is Cathie Woods going to be right again?
Can you do that again?
Now, in the Push and Profit program, I personally have been very bearish on Tesla, specifically since the middle of 2022. Now, here's the thing. Before people crucify me and hang me out to dry, I want to let people know that I'm bullish on Tesla on the long term. I'm just bearish on the short term, meaning in my long-term portfolio, I'm just not building up a position on Tesla just yet, as I think there's still a little bit more downside. Now, I'm not saying that Tesla is a terrible company, but it just makes sense that if we're in a market where we're seeing investors pull away from risk-on assets, that makes more sense to still be bearish, especially during a time where we're still seeing the Federal Reserve increase the federal fund rate in order to slow down the economy. So if they're purposely doing this to slow down the economy, of course, short term, I'm still going to be bearish. Now, here's the thing. Although I'm still bearish on Tesla, the degree in which I'm bearish is not as aggressive as it was before. And I want to go ahead and just explain that to you guys real quick. In the late 2021, I was very bearish on a lot of the SPAC companies like SPCE, Virgin Galactic, as these were stocks that were trading at absurd multiples just because there was a lot of free money getting thrown around. And if you take a look now, stocks like SPCE, Virgin Galactic is now a penny stock. And in mid-2022, I was just bearish in general on a bunch of the big tech companies, as we know a correction was bound to happen, especially when the feds are, kind of turning off the faucets, right? The money was flowing and now they're closing the money down. And the reason I'm not bearish on Tesla as before is because we already seen Tesla get hit with a hammer, getting slammed down in 2022. So I'm looking at the companies that are still in tech but didn't get hit as hard as Tesla. More like the stocks like Apple that were seen as a safe haven for investors. And so stocks like Apple didn't get hit on the head with a hammer like stocks like Tesla. And so my focus now is being bearish on those stocks that investors held on to and seeing those stocks slowly go down, as well as now we see money leaving the market. There's less liquidity. Now, I'm not saying that Apple stock is going to crash, just saying that more likely there is more downside to Apple, as we haven't seen a huge exodus out of Apple from investors. And if we bring it back to Tesla and we look at retail has been pouring a bunch of money out of Tesla recently, which is why we're seeing Tesla go down, as we know that retail accounts for 60% of the outstanding shares for Tesla. So I'm still short on Tesla, just not as short. But I do want to highlight a recent play that we did in the Push or Profit price private group. Now yesterday in the Push and Profit private group, I sent out a plethora of information with charts and graphs and dates that we should pay attention to as they may serve as catalyst events for the overall market. But I want to highlight this one trade that I had in the watch list. And in fact, it was the only trade I highlighted in our watch list. And that was a trade for Apple. In the watch list, I had a put position for $124 as a strike price for once Apple is a little bit over $133.25. And if we take a look into the chart for Apple today, we see that it served as a great entry for Apple, as Apple definitely fell down significantly hard after it hit that entry point. Which, by the way, guys, if you guys want to have access to know what stocks I'm watching for the next day, what stocks I have on my watch list, or just get updated on the overall market and macroeconomic climate, then definitely check out the first link in the description below, because that's going to be a link to the Push and Profit private group where there is actually a 50% off coupon code that expires soon. So definitely take advantage of that coupon code, especially if you want to have the benefits of being part of our daily briefings. But enough on what my thoughts for Tesla are or the current trades that I've been calling out for the Push and Profit private group. I want to highlight something that Cathie Woods recently said that I found very interesting. In a recent video that Cathie Woods uploaded, she was talking about the M2 chart, which is the money supply chart, and stating that it is cooling down significantly, and stating that this is a leading indicator for inflation and that the feds are actually tightening too much, which could definitely be a problem. Now, the reason I find this very interesting is because Michael Burry tweeted something very similar in the beginning of 2023 on his Twitter account, stating that he believes the feds are going to tighten too much and then go back to untightening and then doing quantitative easing, boosting the economy once more again. Which, if that happens, could definitely contribute to the idea that Cathie and her team believes of Tesla reaching over $500 per share in the next couple of years. But at the end of the day, we have to pay attention to what's currently going on and what moves are the feds going to currently be doing. Which is why in the Push and Profit private group, I called out specific days that we definitely want to pay attention to. One being the CPI report coming very soon. But you guys let me know in the comment section below, do you guys think that Cathie Woods is right in her prediction of Tesla stock reaching over $500 per share in the next couple of years? Or is Cathie Woods just talking crazy? With that being said, guys, make sure to like this video if you haven't done so already. And I need you guys to watch this next video right over here. And I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care.